COVID-19. The word which we hear plenty of times nowadays. This pandemic has brought a lot of changes to our life lately. Yet people are curious about how will be the world after COVID-19? There were a lot of requests to make a video like this. So watch till the end as this video is going to be worth watching. Most common question asked is what will be the impact on the global economy? And what will be the future of economy? Some economists are predicting that global economy will recover faster if lockdowns do not remain for a long time. And we could see V-shape recovery graph in economic growth. But even after the lockdowns are lifted, people will not spend money like they used to before on non-essential things. But if governments implement good policies and reforms, then the chain of supply and demand will be established again and economy could recover it much faster. Deglobalization due to COVID-19. Deglobalization was started way before this pandemic. Like United States America First policy, Britain's Brexit, trade war between US and China, are some of the examples of deglobalization. COVID-19 pandemic could speed up this process and brings up some changes in the supply chain. As world has seen that they cannot depend only China for supply of goods. The countries like US, Japan, South Korea and European countries could start to shift their manufacturing back to their home or to counties like India, Vietnam, Philippines and Bangladesh. And possibly countries like India could come out as a big manufacturing hub of the world. Future of technology after COVID-19. Technology is going to change a lot in the coming time, mostly in the manufacturing sector. To reduce dependency on labor's, companies will start investing in advanced robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, and eventually they will adapt themselves for Industry 4.0. And because of the Industry 4.0 revolution, the workforce will be reduced drastically and this could lead to job losses. But this pandemic could speed up that process. Also, people will prefer work from home methods. Online platform like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime will be preferred for entertainment instead of going out to the movie theaters. Defense expenditure after COVID-19. We could see a sharp decline in defense expenditure in coming years because of economic slowdown. Also, defense manufacturing sector could see a job loss and salary cuts in coming years. But militaries around the world can also adapt themselves for biological attacks or pandemic-like situations to help civilian population more efficiently. Governments can also invest more in cybersecurity. Because of increased use of technology in future can also leads towards more cyber attacks on banks, industries, and important government organizations. Changes in healthcare systems. We could see a major shift in healthcare systems in the world. International organizations after the COVID-19. We could expect more transparency from international organizations like UN and WHO. Effect of COVID-19 on social life. Maybe the next few months people will be less active in their social life. People will avoid mass gatherings and also going in crowded bars and restaurants. People will prefer to work from home and also students would prefer online classes. These restrictions may last for few months or a year depending on availability of COVID-19 vaccination. Possible political instability after COVID-19. Due to economic slowdown and job losses, there is an possibility of increase in violence, protests against the governments, and also crime rate could increase tremendously. This political instability could also lead towards terrorist activities and ultimately create more uncertainty towards governments. Possibility of geopolitical conflict after the pandemic. Due to economic impact of COVID-19, there could be a major geopolitical conflict. But it is unlikely to happen, as United States seems to be in a weak position in this pandemic. Compared to China, it could shift the world power balance. Recent activities of China in South China Sea shows how China is getting stronger on both militarily and economically. Because of this pandemic, US-China relations have hit to its lowest level. And this tension can escalate to an armed conflict. China is not just having a conflict in South China Sea but also have recent face-off with India in Sikkim and in Ladakh region. So geopolitics could see a major shift in the future. Environmental changes after COVID-19. Yet after this pandemic, governments across the globe should take appropriate steps to prevent not just future pandemics but also natural disasters that are directly or indirectly linked to the climate change.